못하면 죽어! 다들 정신 해봅시다!
Hello guys. In this video we will continue the suspenseful story of the Squid Game drama. This part shows Gi-hoon and his friends who still have to fight to do anything in order to survive in a crazier and deadly game. But before we get to the storyline, don't forget to click the subscribe button and get another interesting video directly on your homepage. Without any further ado, let's just go straight to the storyline. This part begins with the appearance of the participants who successfully completed the previous Dalgona Candy Challenge. After tired of playing, the participants were given snacks for each person. Deokso, Mi Ryong, and his men are dissatisfied with the division and choose to wait in line again in order to get another snack. Unexpectedly, the number of snacks turned out to have been adjusted to the number of participants because of the actions of Deokso and his men. Some participants did not get snacks. A participant who doesn't get a snack goes berserk and tries to fight Deokso, but unfortunately he is beaten by Deokso to death. All the participants who watched the incident were very surprised and asked the committee to do something. But the organizers did not care at all about what happened outside the game. They instead displayed that with the elimination of a participant, the prize money would increase. It also makes Deokso and his men think about killing other participants so that their rivals become reduced. Unconsciously, the participants began to divide into several teams. They also worked together to defend the members within their team. At the same time, there was a participant who was doing something with several organizers in secret. Apparently the participant was a doctor. He and some of the organizers there committed a crime unknown to the organizer. The organizers were selling the organs of the dead participants, and the doctor was assigned to take their organs in exchange for him to be given information about the next game. By getting this information, the doctor can prepare himself first before the game starts. At night, as usual, their room lights will be turned off so they can rest. But the opportunity is instead used by Deokso and his men to kill the participants in the darkness. That horrible night was filled with cries of pain and blood everywhere. With a pitch-black situation, they also have difficulty to save themselves. Gi-hoon, Sang-woo, and Ali move to save Il-nam. However, they do not find Il-nam in his bed. Il-nam had already saved himself by going to the very top. From that position, he shouted for the participants to stop killing each other. That's when the organizers came and secured the situation. The room looked very messy with the bodies strewn about. The bodies were then cleaned and moved by the committee. Long story short, the next day they were gathered to follow the next game. This time they were asked to create a team of 10 people. The doctor, who already knows the game, deliberately chose Deokso and his men as his team, because the game they will play is a tug of war. While Gi-hoon and the other participants who don't know anything choose their closest friends randomly. Even Gi-hoon's team is filled with 3 women and 1 grandparent. As a result, the team also became an easy target for other teams. The tug of war they will play is not the usual tug of war. They will compete above the height so that one of the losing teams will definitely fall and die. Long story short, arrived when Gi-hoon's team was going up against another team that looked stronger. From the beginning, Sang-woo was already desperate to see all the members of his team, but just before the game began, Il-nam also gave tips and tricks that he used to use while playing tug of war. All they needed was teamwork and mutual trust.
받을 수가 있어. 마지막으로.
At first Il-nam trick worked, but unfortunately because the other party was so strong, they still couldn't defeat him. Until at the last moment Sang-woo also leads the team members to make a bold move. He tells them all to go forward 3 steps. It is done so that the opposing team automatically falls. Although at first they had doubts, in the end thanks to it they were able to turn things around and finally be able to win the game. At the end of the game, 80 participants, there are now 40 participants who still survive. After the game is over, as usual, the doctor will be called to perform organ harvesting surgery. At that time, Junho, who is still undercover, is asked by a committee to participate in organ delivery. That's where Junho sees what the doctor and the committee are doing. They removed important organs from the corpses of the eliminated participants. The organs will be sold so they can earn money.
그래서 죽지 않게 게임도 알려주고 먹을 것도 따로 챙겨주잖아.
After completing his task, the doctor asked the committee for a reward, but the organizers claimed not to know what the next game was. That of course makes the doctor very angry, because if tonight he does not get any info, then Deok-so will definitely kill him immediately. With his operating knife he immediately killed a committee man brutally, after which he came out and ran away from the labyrinth room and was chased by a committee, until finally they arrived at the previous game room. The organizer tried to calm the doctor because he did not want the frontman or the organizer to know their secret. But unfortunately the commotion was immediately known by the frontman. He did not want to waste time. He immediately killed the committee and also the doctor. At the same time, Junho and a committee man infiltrate through a secret door, both of whom are assigned to send the previous organs to the buyers. Unexpectedly, after passing through the secret road, the committee pointed a knife at Junho. It turns out that he has been suspicious of Junho because he has behaved strangely. Junho pulls out his gun with the gun. He kills the committee and infiltrates the frontman's room. Meanwhile, the frontman and the organizers also saw the body of another committee man who was shot. From the bullet in his head, the frontman was convinced that the bullet was a bullet from a police pistol. As a result, he immediately deployed all the organizers to search for the intruder. Meanwhile, Junho infiltrates the frontman's room trying to find out information about his brother. From dozens of files there he also found the fact that his brother had indeed been a participant in the game. After that, the next game time arrived. On the way to the game room, the participants saw the body of the doctor and the corpses of other organizers. The committee officially apologized as well as reminding them that it would happen to them if they did not cheat. In this game they were asked to pair 2 people. Because the number of participants is currently 39, it means there will be 1 person who does not have a partner. At that time none of the participants wanted to pair up with Il-nam. They were afraid that in this game it would require strength. Because Gi-hoon decided to pair up with Il-nam, at the end of the election the remaining couple was Mi-ryong, who did not get a partner because it was brought by the other room organizers. In the game room, each participant is given 1 bag containing 10 marbles. Within 30 minutes, participants who get 20 marbles at the end of the game will be declared victorious. That means they have to compete against their own partners. Gi-hoon, who pairs up with Il-nam, tries to resuscitate Il-nam because at that time Il-nam's illness is relapsing, so he does not care about the game and travels around the arena. It certainly makes Gi-hoon panic and be forced to snap at Il-nam.
정말 재밌어요. 나 집에 가고 싶어. 피곤한 거 아닙니까? 게임을 할 수가 없잖아요.
Finally, Il-nam realized and wanted to play with him. They decide to play guessing. They just need to guess the number of marbles in the opponent's hand, whether odd or even. Unexpectedly, Il-nam turned out to be repeatedly guessing correctly so that he won a lot. It also made Gi-hoon even more panicked. While Sang-woo, who pairs up with Ali, decides to play fair. In that game, Ali also won and got quite a lot of marbles. Ali feels guilty and can't bear Sang-woo, but inevitably one of them will definitely die. The defeated Sang-woo decides to take advantage of Ali's innocence and deceive him. He took all of Ali's marbles and exchanged them for stones, so he escaped the game this time.
구슬 20개야. 당신들이 말하는 규칙은
Se-byuk, who pairs up with a woman named Ji-young, chooses to spend their 30 minutes chatting. From there, Ji-young realizes that Se-byuk is more deserving to survive than she is, considering that Ji-young has been living in alone and no one will wait for her when she is free. That's why she decided to give up and let Se-byuk win the game. Back to Il-nam and Gi-hoon. At that time, Gi-hoon's marbles only left one. It means that only one step Il-nam will manage to win in the game this time. Unexpectedly, Gi-hoon misguessed at his last chance. But because of his illness, Il-nam forgets what Gi-hoon's guess is. Because Gi-hoon changes his guess so that he manages to win. It continues to be done by Gi-hoon in order to turn things around, until finally Il-nam marbles are only one left. At that time, Il-nam asked that they play one more round, but had to risk it all. Gi-hoon, who heard it, felt unfair, as he had 19 marbles while Il-nam only had 1 marble. Il-nam said that during the game he knew he had been fooled by Gi-hoon, but he deliberately let Gi-hoon do just that. Gi-hoon, who heard about it, felt sad and guilty. Il-nam grabbed Gi-hoon's hand and gave one last marble to Gi-hoon. Il-nam then thanked Gi-hoon for taking care of him during his time there. Right after saying that time ran out, Il-nam, Ali, and the others were eliminated and shot to death. And the second part is finally finished.